Today on CityCast Las Vegas, creative producer Jacob Solis helps us explain the never-ending construction issues in the Arts District. Plus, artist Vogue Robinson gives us the 411 on the Tupac trial, and we hit you with another round of our Vegas fixations. But first, guys, back to school officially here. All the kiddos went back to school on Monday. Vogue, I have a question for you, because middle schoolers start at 7:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. Is that too early to start school? That's crazy to me.
That's too early for anything. Yes.
Jacob, I know you were an education reporter. Is there any way in the world that you would let this go by without questioning what the hell are we doing starting at 7:30 in the morning?
Yeah, look, this is the tough thing with school schedules because there's got to be one school group that's the sacrificial lamb here because you've only got so many buses, so you have to stagger them. And unfortunately, it is always middle schoolers who get the short end of the stick, which sucks, though, because middle school, as we all know, the worst school. You're going through puberty. Everything sucks. You lose the training wheels that you got in elementary school. So I just feel bad for them. Like, more power to you, middle schoolers. It'll get better eventually, I promise.
Yeah, you're already in middle school. Now, hey, wake up at 6 a.m. to make sure you can get to school on time. It gets crazy. But also, too, as a reminder for everybody out there on the roads, make sure you're driving safe. A new law did just go into effect on July 1st that now officially doubles traffic fines in school zones. So obviously, not just for the fine, you want to watch out for the kids, but also to make sure you're driving safe, save a little cash as well. Don't be speeding around the area around there. And with that, let's get it rolling. It's Tuesday, August 11th. I'm Jesse Merrick. Here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Southern Nevadans are the water smartest, and we've saved 200 billion gallons over the years. That's thanks to residents, HOAs, and businesses following watering schedules and replacing grass with water-smart landscaping. Golf courses are doing their part too. They operate within water budgets, and resorts do too, accounting for just 7% of the valley's water use. And even developers follow strict water-smart building codes too. So thank you for doing your part, and keep saving water where it matters most, outdoors. You can learn more at snwa.com. SNWA is a not-for-profit water agency. All right, guys, you know we love to talk about all the goings-on in the Arts District. Parking, obviously, is something we've talked about a lot. But construction now is causing all kinds of issues. Jacob, what is going on out there with this construction that just never seems to end?
Yeah, I think anyone who's been out to the arts districts in the last couple of weeks knows what we're talking about. If you haven't been out there, I think you think, oh, road construction, how bad could it be?
This bad.
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, the road is gone right now, so jot that down.
Just that statement, the road is gone now. That should tell you how bad it is. Like, we are down so bad downtown. It's bad.
It's pretty rough. It's one of those things where it's like you almost don't realize how deep the asphalt is until they remove it. And you're like, oh, wow, the ground is pretty far away from where the sidewalk is. In any case, they are installing a storm drain. There's a big project about a mile of Charleston in downtown where they're spending about $49 million and spending about 2 years. We're in the back half of this project phase right now to upgrade a bunch of the flooding stuff. This is probably long overdue if anyone has been around this town when it floods. And certainly Charleston, that area of Charleston right by the Arts District, coming right off the 215, has historically had issues with flooding that they've been chipping away at year over year. This project also has a bunch of stuff. They're improving sewers. They're improving the pavement. Well, obviously they have to put it back. So it's all going to be brand new. They're adding a median. They're doing all kinds of stuff.
You would hope it'll be new, right? I guess they're not just going to put the old stuff back on top. Cracks
it
and all.
It would be crazy if they did.
Yeah.
Recycling.
But,
recycling.
There you go. See? Yeah, Vogue knows. That's a good idea.
Exactly. But this all has a big cost. Obviously, there's the $49 million in taxpayer money that this is costing. But for the businesses, I'll just quote the RJ here, quote, a complete nightmare. Cornish Pasty, I think, as a lot of people know, is right there on Charleston. There is still business access, but sidewalk only. And for anyone who's been down there, you have to go around. You can't really directly access the Arts District anymore. You have to circle around either through the Neon Gateway or just come via the 95 and come from the east or whatever it is. So it's a mess. So just for some percentages, Cornish Pasty said their business is down about 20%. There's an Antiques Mall too that said their business is down 30%. And that's on top of already low summer traffic. So in general, a nightmare for everybody involved.
Yeah, no, nobody loves seeing that stuff. And it's one of those deals where, like, to your point, Jacob, it's something that is needed, but it almost feels like the execution of it is kind of lacking because they're maximizing disruptions there, over particularly at Cornish Pasty. Like, Vogue, do you feel there was a way that they could have done this differently to minimize, the impact on these businesses? Because 20 to 30% is not a small number.
Yeah, I think maybe the season they started, I think it's hard to tell because I feel like Vegas gets slightly dormant in the summer in terms of like all of us who live here. We're like, we just stay inside. Yes, I think maybe the silly tourists might be outside in the hot heat, but the businesses are open. And so I think it's hard because what could they have done? Probably like talk to the business owners and ask like what season would be the best season for this to happen, or I don't know, to shift gears on when they started increasing the pricing for parking to maybe not correlate so closely with when they're pulling up the ground. Because if I've got to drive all the way around and then search for parking and parking is expensive and I'm trying to save money on parking, it becomes a hassle, a hurdle. Like I noticed last week, I was like, oh, it's First Friday. And I was like, I'm not about to brave that. I'm not driving through the mess. And I got people I love that are down there. I have art in the arts factory right now, but I was like, I'm not setting foot in my car to go out to the arts district, unfortunately.
Yeah, First Friday is always crazy. Then you mix in this construction and it is like next level. Like, in California, they had like Carmageddon when they were doing some work. That was like where they tagged it. Like, I feel like this is our version of it. It's insane. Jacob, what's your take? Like, how could they have done this better in that area to limit the impact? Because again, like it's just 20, 30% is hard for me to get over for any business, like especially ones downtown that are dealing with the other issues as Vogue alluded to.
It's pretty rough. And I've not seen anyone from the city say this, but it does feel like a catch-22 where they can either maximize the disruptions now and get it done ASAP, or they can stretch it out, minimize disruptions. But ultimately, like you got to install these giant storm drains sometime. You got to rip up the road to do that. And so it is what it is. This project either happens or it doesn't. And if it's going to happen, it's going to suck until it doesn't suck. So welcome to the rock and the hard place, I suppose.
Yeah. I guess so. Like you said, take your pick if you're one of the business owners down there of like drawn out over a longer period of time or a couple months or so, maybe that are like the really hard hit one. So yeah, I'm interested to see, kind of again, how it continues to impact them. Hopefully they figure out a way around it. But Vo, you kind of mentioned it as well about parking being expensive. Coming up here in the fall, those things are going to be jacked through the roof too. Just for employees downtown. James Trees, the owner of Esther's, like he went on there and was kind of defending his employees and just everyone that works down in the Arts District because the fees are going to go from $10 a month for employees up to potentially $50 a month for parking spaces. Now they could be eligible for like a $30 discount on them, but it sounds like those are limited. So like. Again, that paired with this stuff, like it just kind of seems like this is all coming at a really bad time for the Arts District where you've got the construction woes, but then now parking not only for employees, but everyone else getting more, expensive as well. So like, how bad could this stuff really hurt the Arts District?
Ooh, I think there's already a lot of like disillusionment and some sorrow surrounding the arts district. I think that so many artists have been pushed out and it's a space for, commerce in a way. And there's so many places to eat, but I'm like, okay, if there's only so much of like this great food place next to this great food place next to this great food place where it's going to actually be something that's beneficial. Versus at a certain point, you're just gonna be like, well, there's so many like decision fatigue. Like I'm gonna go to like an old
Seriously, we've got it in Vegas in droves overall,
right?
Like,
And so I think lacking a space where you can walk through an art gallery or have other types of experiences. I think as those things decrease, it also decreases the appeal of the area. It's the arts district, and you're like, oh, look, there's a billboard and the billboard is great and we need more. And so I think it's tough. It's tough to keep locals, to keep locals feeling invested in the space and to call in our tourists as well. And so we've got to figure out what else can be done and how can we really pay homage to the people who are here regularly, consistently, and working it and keeping it alive.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's also too, like, it's crazy when you kind of play the Arts District and Chinatown together. Like we recently mentioned Chinatown on the show and all the investment they're getting, the fact that they've got more visitors to Chinatown than both the Arts District and Fremont combined. And the city's allowing free parking in Chinatown, at least for now. Not that we're wishing
now.
for parking to be charged in Chinatown, but it's like, why the hell the prioritizing free parking in Chinatown, but not in the Arts District? Because to me, it feels like it's stunning the growth.
Right? Like parking in Chinatown is a word, but
it's like the Hunger Games trying to find a damn spot down there. Yeah,
let's not act like it's like easy parking.
It's free, but you got to work for it. So I guess like, what's your time worth? I guess maybe
no
is,
such
and that's
thing
what
as
you're
free
paying.
Parking, I guess.
Yeah. It's crazy. And so like, I don't know, when I view it through that lens, I just kind of feel like the growth could be stunted in the Arts District based off of the whole parking deal. Jacob, I'm curious how you kind of wrap your head around that.
I think parking is just such a difficult question to answer because ultimately, like, you need parking. But if you think about like what's the most effective use of a space, would you rather have a new restaurant or a parking lot? And these are the questions that city planners have to answer. I think in Vegas, a city with no reasonable public transportation really outside of buses, and the need to drive cars, well, that means you need parking. And so there needs to be more innovative solutions like actual parking structures or underground parking structures, but those are obviously expensive. And so if it's expensive, who's paying those costs? Who bears those costs? And that's how we end up at paid parking. And so I think it's a tough nut to crack, but I do think there needs to be more attention paid to how stuff like paid parking is affecting how people move about town. Because if city planners are not careful, they could unintentionally suppress areas like the Arts District. I think it's true.
Hey there, it's Jesse from CityCast Las Vegas. You know from listening to this podcast that we love this city and we want it to be better. When we get fired up about paid parking downtown or the confusing stuff the LVCVA does with our tax dollars, it's because we live here too. We have skin in the game, so that's why I'm asking you to become a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor. You can join our membership program for $10 a month or $100 a year and invest directly in this team of locals, which means that we can cover the stories that affect us all. And your membership gets you some great perks, including access to our exclusive events. These are in-person events just for our CityCast Las Vegas neighbors. Things like a craft cocktail course at Ferguson's, or access to our neighbors-only holiday party we held last year at Crush Pad Wine Bar. And we're already planning our next members-only event. So join now so you don't miss it. Go to membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas. Again, that's membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas. Thank you, neighbor. All right, we're moving on now to the Tupac trial. Vogue, it is finally happening. 30 years in the making. Give us the deets on what people can expect now.
Deceased. Apparently, you can expect lottery tickets if you want to sit and watch the trial happen.
Isn't that crazy?
How bored are we?
Right?
I don't want to watch people hit each other. I don't want to go play with the slot machine. I want to sit and watch this 30-year-old trial pop off.
That is a fair point to bring up in a city like Las Vegas. The fact that you need lottery tickets in order to get a seat into there for the trial based off of everything else we have. That's a really good point.
Yeah, the only Vegas lottery.
Yeah. There you also true.
Hey, wait a minute. Well, no,
this is a new segment right here. Forget the
right?
rest of the segment.
Right.
Yeah.
Like school lotteries. The lotteries we allow. So school lottery and lotteries to go and watch the case regarding Tupac Shakur. Let's see, to go back in time, 1996. Tupac Shakur, who was a rapper, part of Death Row Records, was murdered near Ellis Island Casino on Koval. And since his murder, there's been like 85 theories about who killed him. So there's like, it was Suge Knight who was in charge of the record label. He was part of Death Row Records. It was like Suge did it. There's talk of like Puff Daddy. So Sean P. Diddy Combs.
Yeah. He even got scooped in on this. It's crazy. Yeah.
And they're like, it was Diddy. And based on lots of things that have been said in multiple documentaries, the evidence suggests based on emotional, storytelling.
It doesn't seem as far-fetched as it probably did in the past.
It wasn't. Depends on how much you were following it. And then, of course, over time, they assumed that it had to do between the Bloods and the Crips, so different gang members. And I think that maybe that's why people care so much. Well, there's lots of reasons why people care so much, but in terms of Tupac's music, it was revolutionary. His mother was a Black Panther. And so his catalog went from pushing for making notes about we have money for war and not to take care of the poor, all the way to the other side of the pendulum, which was California Love, misogynistic music that you could shake your ass to. So you had both sides of the music gamut. Everybody loved him, but he was only 25 when he died. And he spoke out often with the kind of fearlessness that I think comes from being that young. And so we come back around to this man, so Dwayne Davis, who was running his mouth in the streets and wrote a book kind of talking about, it was like, let me find you the title of this book.
You know what I thought of before you finished? I know I'll say this before. This reminded me of the movie Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. Like the longest title ever. What the hell are we doing? Sorry.
Correct.
Go ahead. I couldn't help it.
Yes. Compton Street Legend, Notorious Keef D's street level account of Tupac and Biggie murders, Death Row origins, Suge Knight, Puffy Combs, and Crooked Cops. That is the whole
How big
title.
is this damn book to fit that title on it? That's what I want to know.
You know, fonts. People are so good with fonts. And this really makes me think about like O.J. Simpson writing his book regarding like, If I Did It, Confessions of the Killer, which was like dropped in 2007. This idea of someone thinking that because X number of years have gone by since the crime was committed, and maybe nobody cares, and you think maybe you've gotten away with it, it's been so long, it'll be a waste to prosecute you. And maybe also because he was the last of the 4 people in the car who were present for the murder of Tupac Shakur, that he just thought, I'm going to talk to BET, which is actually great PR and marketing for a book. So I'm going to talk to BET. I'm going to run my mouth to more cops after everything is said and done, and I'm going to write this book. And as it turns out, the things that were in his book are part of what made the police decide to reopen the case one more time and say, hey, you're basically an accomplice. So the same way that if we go rob a bank, Jesse, if you're my getaway driver, you are just as guilty of the crime as I am for going and grabbing the money. It is the same thing. They're saying not only was he was there in the car, but that he orchestrated it because he grabbed a gun, threw it in the car, and was like, hey, we're about to go and mob up. We're going to go talk mess to these dudes and make sure that they don't get away with beating up my little cousin. And then I think it was his nephew. And then it turned into a much more violent situation. So
it's a crazy
let the games begin, and possibly Governor Lombardo might be brought in.
The potential witness list is insane. It's a who's who of Vegas, like, it's so crazy, like the number of people on the witness list that could, be brought into this trial in some way, shape, or form. That's going to be fascinating to watch in its own right. But like Jacob, it kind of seems to, right, in terms of the defense, they're trying to say like, hey, no, he was lying in the book, like he was stretching the truth, trying to sell copies of the book. That's what it seems like, right? And which is funny, because like you released the book, but hey, no, he was lying. He was just doing it, to make money.
Yeah, and this has been remarked upon before, but it really is an inversion of, your standard criminal trial where, it's the prosecution here being like, actually, this guy is the most truthful guy ever and has never lied in his life. Yeah. And the defense is like, jury, you cannot take a word of this man seriously. He's never told a truth in his life. And so that's what we're left with.
Mess and lie. Why would you does that look like the face of a man you should trust?
Exactly. It's really weird, just to put it that way. So we'll see. It's just so fascinating that it's happening now. I mean, to Vogue's point, laying this all out, I think it was not until 2018 that he started like saying it publicly, but he's been speaking on it publicly so many times that the cops are finally like, yeah, I think we got enough now. I think we got it. Mm-hmm. So it's just such a strange case.
It really is. Now, when you're saying that, it makes me think, like, how long was the book? How long did it take him to get through? Like, was it as long as the title? And if that's the case, okay, this is why it took 30 years.
There's your delay.
And I know the book isn't 30 years old, by the way, for anybody out there. But...
No, the book came out in 2019. But I think that, honestly, this is a case study on books gone wrong. And, like, when Keeping It Real goes wrong, because they did they did all the work for the PR to bring this book to light. I think he built an entire career talking mess and being like, I helped take out Tupac. Like, he built up his street cred and then was like, oh, well, what's the next step? What else can I do to push my book forward or my platform forward as the sole surviving person in the vehicle who knows the quote unquote truth, and said, Lou, I'm gonna do a book and now I'm gonna go on tour. Who's gonna come after me? And it's hubris, but it shows like you can finish a book in 2019 and it takes people 6 to 7 years before they read it and before more people catch on to it. Like, it's the slow burn of publishing.
No, yeah, it really is. Yeah, just a wild, wild ordeal. And now we're here and it all gets rolling. And I know we're all kind of waiting to see, once it gets going, what the verdict will actually be. And I'm so curious in all of this that because I feel like the Tupac murder here in Las Vegas is such a part of our Vegas history, right? So depending on the verdict, like, will it change the narrative of what was a historic night here in Las Vegas? Like, how do you guys think that impacts it?
I do think it's interesting insofar as the Tupac murder, we were talking about this as a team, is sort of like a bridge between an older Vegas and modern Vegas. It's one of the last, I think, we'll say, crazy crimes to happen in Las Vegas, in a town that obviously was run by the mob for so long. And I don't want to be glib about it, but, so it is not a nail in the coffin, but it's sort of like closing a chapter almost. Whatever way the trial ends up going, it's this sort of last unsolved mystery. And after that, it's all corporate all the way down.
It feels like it's also a push for, like, maybe our law enforcement is trying to really, like, make sure you put some respect on their names. Like, we got this killer. I'm rewatching Scandal, y'all, so this is the brain I'm in. But the idea of you catch someone that people have been looking for years to show, like, we're competent and we know what we're doing. And I'm trying to look and see, like, is it about that time for us to vote for another sheriff? Like, what are the reasons underneath why this investigation has become so important, or who decided this was the cold case that they should, put in the microwave and warm back up?
Yeah, no, it's so true. It really is. Like, again, you got to follow, okay, who has the most to gain from this thing kind of being wrapped up. So I think that's a real keen way to look at it. Again, everybody, the trial started officially yesterday on Monday. So buckle up. It's going to be an interesting ride.
Hey there, it's Jesse from CityCast Las Vegas. You know from listening to this podcast that we love this city and we want it to be better. When we get fired up about paid parking downtown or the confusing stuff the LVCVA does with our tax dollars, it's because we live here too. We have skin in the game, so that's why I'm asking you to become a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor. You can join our membership program for $10 a month or $100 a year and invest directly in this team of locals, which means that we can cover the stories that affect us all. And your membership gets you some great perks, including access to our exclusive events. These are in-person events just for our CityCast Las Vegas neighbors. Things like a craft cocktail course at Ferguson's, or access to our neighbors-only holiday party we held last year at Crush Pad Wine Bar. And we're already planning our next members-only event. So join now so you don't miss it. Go to membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas. Again, that's membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas. Thank you, neighbor. It's time now for round 2 of one of our new favorite segments, our Vegas Fixations of the Week. I love this one. We had a lot of fun last time we rolled it out, so I will go last on this one. Normally, I kind of kick this one off. I'm going to pitch it to you real quick, Vogue. What's your Vegas fixation? Let me know what you're rocking with on the Vegas scene here this week.
I'm always excited about this. You should know by now, folks, my obsession and fixation forever and always will be the Las Vegas Clark County Library District. Yeah. Forever. We have 25 library branches, 3 outreach libraries. I have a really long history of working with them and teaching poetry workshops, and I've been to at least 12 of them. So my mission right now is to get to the other 13.
Nice.
And we're going to start with y'all. I wasn't always, but I feel like with the libraries, like, why not? Because every library has a footprint. Every library has a heartbeat because they're created, and the librarians there and their staff really work to serve the community that they're with. So, like, one library might have a garden, but the other one might not. Another one might have more children's seating and the other one might not. They're doing whatever is needed in their community. And so the one I most recently visited is in Searchlight, Nevada. So we're going to roam an hour south of Las Vegas and go to Searchlight.
That's a trek. Good job.
It is, but it's totally worth it. And what's dope about this building, okay, so it opened in 1969, but then they shifted into the building they're in now in 1989. I'm going to call it a super destination because it has 3 roles. It's the library, it's the Colorado River Food Bank, and then it is the Searchlight Museum. So you can go to this one location, take this 1-hour drive, and then you hit three things. It's quaint, it's comfortable, and Searchlight was originally a mining town, so I don't know if you knew that. And the other things about that library you should know. I mean, really, that's the best stuff of it. It's a library, but they still have they have a 3D printer. They have bingo. They have a bingo event coming up on Wednesday, August 12th at noon, and then on Wednesday, August 19th, they have a sewing day. So there's always something going on in our libraries. And I feel like going out to the Royals or going out to any of the different libraries is worthwhile, because if they don't have an awesome event happening, no matter what, they've got dope books. You can get audiobooks as well. And then last but not least, so many of them have art galleries as well.
Yeah, no, it's so cool. I feel like libraries are one of the most underrated spots. I know if CityCast Chicago did an entire episode of all the crazy stuff you can actually check out of a library. And I just think it's so cool. And I think that they are underexplored by so many people. So yeah, that's a great one, Vogue. I love that. I was looking through the list of events and I saw beaded plant craft. I was just like, wait, what is this? I was like, are they bedazzling plants? And then apparently, yeah, you're making crafted bedazzled plants with wire. It's not actually bedazzling plants. But if you're interested in that, it's August 22nd at the Searchlight Library. So check that one out, because it, again, caught my attention. I don't know can we count that as clickbait for a library? Do libraries do that? I don't know. It got me. I don't know. Jacob, what's your Vegas fixation, man? What are you on this week?
My Vegas fixation are Vegas sandwiches. Follow my train of thought here. One, okay. I know Jason Harris on this show has talked about Sandwich Alley down in Henderson over on Eastern. And that much is true. Golden Boy, obviously, great.
Recently tried them, passed the test. Check on that one. Yep, they're good.
What?
That's a light.
Yeah. Okay, taking notes.
You got to write this one down, Vogue. Yeah. Go on Instagram and find them. You'll see the viral chicken Caesar. Sorry, Jacob, go ahead.
No worries. But what people may not know about me, my last name, Solis, actually French-Canadian. So I am French-Canadian. My dad has taken me to French Canada to take pilgrimages to very specifically shops with Montreal smoked meat sandwiches. I have been chasing the dragon of eating a Montreal smoked meat since I was last in Montreal, years ago at this point. And just this weekend, Lester's Deli, which I believe only has locations in Montreal at this point, opened a location in Vegas, in Henderson.
Yes.
And so add it to Sandwich Alley, I say. It hit me like a hydrogen bomb, just the taste. Here's the thing. They really only sell Montreal smoked meat sandwiches and poutine. So if that's your jam, and eating that when it's 110 outside also kind of made me feel insane. But I was going to
say that's pretty wild. Yeah. I'm forbidden from eating hot things this time of year.
It was delightful. It was a nostalgia bomb, and I'm just glad it's here. And you know what? It's going to be dangerous, I think, for probably my sodium levels. But that won't stop me. I am going to continue eating these delicious sandwiches. So that's my fixation.
So we got to go to Lester's in Henderson. Mm-hmm. Yes. And then what am I ordering?
They only got Montreal smoked meats, so you can have it.
Smoked meats, yeah.
They've got deluxe. They've got regular. If you're having it just
poutine, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Here's my fun fact: is my dad always told me it was called poutine, and so the first time I heard someone call it poutine, I was like, "What are you talking about?
You're what is that? You're saying that wrong." That's hilarious. Yeah, but no, definitely that's one on my list to check out. I think we talked about all that on pod recently too. Mm-hmm. And like I said, Golden Boy. I went and I didn't get the viral chicken Caesar. I actually went with the deli sandwich, loaded up with mortadella and all the good Italian deli meats. It was killer. Get the chili crunch with it too. That stuff just takes it to the next level. Mm-hmm. I cannot wait to go back. And it was packed. It was Friday afternoon. We had the CityCast Summer Friday off, and it was packed in there. But got a little work done for my other business on the side there, and it was just a cool spot to kind of kick it. It's got a good vibe in there, so I can't recommend that one enough. Thanks to Jason for turning me on a big time sandwich kick as of late as well. He dropped a lot of really good ones, so I got a list to really run into. But that's not my Vegas fixation. I'm actually dog sitting now for about the next week or so. Nice. And I've always grown up with dogs, love dogs, but just haven't had them, really my own dogs is my adult life. And so I've been on this kick now, and I just got them last night. They just came to the house and stuff. My friends are going on vacation. So I haven't gone to a dog park out here in Vegas yet, but I've been searching the hell out of every dog park in the city. Mm-hmm. So that's my fixation. And even some of the names are just great. There's one Barkin Basin Park. Barkin Basin Park. Yeah. I was like, that is so great. Yeah. So that's one that's on my list to check it out. I have been to Mountain's Edge before. I do know that's a killer park. I just didn't think about it in the dog park sense. So I'm definitely going to be hitting that one up. There's one that's called Fire Station Dog Park, which just sounds cool, like dog fire station, like I'm in, you know? And then there's another one. I believe this is a business. I haven't actually clicked on it, but it's Dogtopia of Sun City. I mean, like, tell me Dogtopia just doesn't sound so pleasant, you know?
Yeah, it's Pixar's next movie.
It really is, yeah. And so I'm excited to go hit up the dog parks and kind of get wrapped up in all of that. I'm actually going to be watching my mom's dog like 2 weeks after my friends pick their dogs up. So it probably won't be long till we end up getting a dog as well. But I would love to hear from everybody out there because, again, since I'm a noob to like at least having dogs to go out and walk with here in Vegas, like I'm still learning the best spots to do it. So I want to hear from all of our listeners. Hit us up, call us, shoot us a text, whatever works best for you at 702-514-0719. Again, that's 702-514-0719. And one, we want to know your latest Vegas fixation, but also two, help me out with the doggos. I want to know where to take them, especially when it's hot. Because I've never lived anywhere it's like this with dogs. Yeah. Like this morning, like I was waking up just because I'm going down to Raiders practice every morning. And I was up at 5 a.m. walking them out there. And I'm like, God, it's crazy because it's still 90 degrees walking these dogs outside. It's nuts. And so that's like the new things you think about when you're walking dogs.
Yeah, you got to put little booties on them.
Yeah, it's always so funny watching them walk when you put those on there. Yeah, I don't know if I can do that. Yeah, I don't know if I could do that to these dogs. Which, as an aside, on the side of TMI, one of the dogs, he has this weird thing about like walking on different flooring around the house. And I have an older mid-century home I've talked about on the podcast that has different flooring in some rooms. Right. And like he freaks out. It's like there's lava on the floor in certain areas. And so I'm trying to get him comfortable to walk around the house. Like he won't come in the room because he has to pass through a parquet flooring area. And I'm like, dude, come on. So yeah, the saga is going to be interesting. You guys will probably hear me talking about them plenty on the podcast as I kind of reintegrated into dog life. I can't wait.
Oh, Jesse and the pups.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. In the meantime, though, guys, this was a blast. Again, I feel like we always talk about so many interesting things, but this was yet another one for the books as we really painted a broad brush here today.
For sure. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Jesse.
That's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend? Rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our free morning newsletter as well. And don't forget, you can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor at membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Until then, though, take care.